Hello, hello, you guys. Welcome to stream. Hopefully, uh, audio is good. Music, uh, voice audio is all good. We're just gonna chill right now. I'm just gonna do some cleanup with some lines or to my sketches. But anyways, welcome to the stream. Welcome. How are you guys? Hopefully, you guys are doing good. I may also try to do some sketches or sketch some ideas. But for the most part, we're just gonna chill today. I don't think I can finish an illustration right now. I think my internet is kind of shaky for some reason. There we go. Also, my mouse is not working at all. It's kind of broken. It's doing that double clicking sort of thing. And it's kind of annoying, so I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna use my trackpad. Kind of slow with my trackpad too. So let me check. Let me check if I have the right references here. I just need some reference for the character design when I'm doing some fan arts. This is such a low quality. Low quality reference. Oh, using the wrong brush. There's a lot of brushes. I have a lot of brushes. To me, it's a lot. But I don't really use. I don't really use all of them. Let me just copy paste this. So I have like some sort of checkpoint to go back to if I don't like the results that I'm doing. And I'll try to do this line art without zooming in too much. It takes a while to get used to, not zooming in and all that. Because you need to be mindful of your cursor. Where that's at. See the Lost Media Kingdom Hearts animated series pilot anime? Jesus Christ. That was just discovered. Nah. I'm not really into Kingdom Hearts anymore. Nor do I hear any news about it. Do the middle one first. Flame TV Live, thank you for the sub. I don't know why finding the Lost Media is an interesting topic to me. I like the Lost JoJo movie. That movie disappeared after only airing in one theater. It was never seen again. Can you play lo-fi? It's so quiet. Do you guys not hear it? Holy shit. Because I'm playing music right now. Oh, damn. Oh, it wasn't set up to my speaker. Fuck. There we go. I was playing music from the very beginning. But turns out the settings wasn't set up, so... My bad. Oh, it was playing. Hopefully that's working now. Is it working? I was kind of hesitant to like stream today because apparently there's supposed to be a power outage right now, but it didn't happen. It was scheduled around 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. But it didn't happen. Because there's still some damages here that is yet to be repaired. Even other places still doesn't have internet. Jesus. It's so bad. This game is supposed to be spiky. Even though I'm not zooming in a lot, or I do have to move, like rotate and all that shit. As long as I don't have to zoom in, that's fine by me. Because every time I zoom in, everything looks kind of wrong. And I barely get to see the whole picture. That's... consider it a sort of bad habit to do. It's not completely terrible. It just helps you keep in check, that's all. I think I've seen one Lost Media documentary. If that's what it's called. I think it was the Evangelion one. Something about Evangelion. I think it was a DVD of Evangelion, and there were some sussy footages of it. And then another one is about video games. It's like finding the lost DS McDonald's game. Yeah. I zoom in a lot. Is that a good thing? I'm not sure. To me, it's a bad thing. For me. Because once I zoom in, I only get completely focused on one section of a drawing. to the point that it's actually kind of ruining the whole picture of the drawing. That's why I kind of want to not zoom in a lot. So in that way, it's just to keep myself in check, basically. It might be good, it might be bad for you. It's really up to you. It's really up to your judgment. Whether or not determine if it's good or not. Line art. I can't even call this inking stage, I guess. It's more me trying to clean up the sketch. But it's not clean enough, if that makes sense. Like, for example, it's still kind of sketchy, especially around this part or this section. But that's fine by me. And you can see like this dust, over here and there. And for the most part, I keep them because it kind of makes just to keep that sketchy aesthetic. If that makes sense. Oh yeah, the McDonald game. Yeah, I think it's available now. Because I think the guy, I forgot what the term was called, but basically they just get the data of it, so it can be downloaded. The game can be downloaded by anyone. Sketches on digital is a mess. It happens to everyone. I draw the lines back and forth and they get rid of them. Is it like the chicken scratchy sort of sketching way? Like, you know, doing this. It's so repetitive. I used to do that. No, don't get me wrong. But once I realized, like, I have this sort of realization, I guess, where I go like, this is such a waste of time. And my wrist isn't really that healthy for my wrist that way. Or if I continue doing that sort of method, that's why I kind of stopped doing that. Of course, it takes a while, but it's worth. How do you train yourself to draw in a single line or a single stroke? Once you made a line, just go with it. I think drawing with pen kind of helped that a bit. Like, you know, not using pencil, so I don't have to erase all the time. And also me just being lazy. Once you landed one stroke, that's it. Just go with it. Just move on. It really does take a while, since it is muscle memory. So it will take some sort of repetitive process to get the hang of it. It's kind of like a confidence thing, also. But for the most part, it's just me being lazy. I just got lazy doing this type of shit. That's why I just go with just do line. One stroke, that's it. And learning gestures kinda helps also. Because it is kind of like gesture drawings. I think also it's because I just do not like seeing so much lines that is present. This is why you don't see me using guidelines all that much. And do this sort of method instead, you know. Cleaning up, erase, cleaning up, erase. Instead of using another layer. Because I don't want to redraw the whole thing. This is a tangent, I hate it. I immediately did that. It's all just muscle memory. It's kind of hard to readjust yourself. Because it is some sort of like habit, right? So it kind of takes a while to get used to. Because it's kind of like you have to be mentally present all the time to make sure you're not doing the thing that you're supposed to avoid. Because if you're just relying on muscle memory alone, you don't need to think about it. It just happens, right? You just let your hand do the thing. But if you want to change that, you have to be like mentally present all the time or something. Something like that. I think it's me. His hand went bigger than I thought it would. For the most part, just keep it patient. Just be patient. It's kind of like exercise. There's not gonna be a huge difference in day one. It's there, but you're not gonna notice it. There's so many fucking tangents, holy crap. What I meant by tangent is this, kind of like this line here connecting to this line, which I do not like. I'm going out of order here. You ever get annoyed that your lines don't connect? Oh, you have no fucking idea. At the same time, I just do not care anymore. Like, for example, this here. And that. And this. But at the same time, I just kind of got used to it. And didn't mind it all too much anymore. I don't take drawing way too seriously, bro. That's basically it. If I fuck up something, then I'll be just like, oh, that's unfortunate. Let's move on. Especially this one. I'll probably only get annoyed by it by the time that I'm like in the stage where I'm coloring, because gaps, for example, like this, and I'm gonna color or something using a fill tool. It kind of does this sort of thing, right? Or it will just spill out and fill up the whole canvas. That's where it gets annoying, when I'm already around, like, in the coloring stage. And immediately regret on, like, doing such a fucking rough sketch and not doing line art. But for the most part, I just push through. I call that leakage. Yeah, it just fucking spills out, man. Clean line art is just, yeah, it's nice to look at, but to me, it's beneficial when you're coloring a lot, or when you're at the coloring stage. But for the most part, if, uh, in regards to my style, I guess, art style, nah, I don't do clean line art. Only when doing commissions. That's where I only get to, like, actually clean up. But for personal works, not really. I don't do that. Like, for example, this one. It's so dusty and all that. And you can see a lot of fucking gaps happening right now. You and Onimar do great line art. Oh, thanks. I mean, I used to do clean line art back then, but I'm just like, I just didn't like it. I just didn't like the look of it for some reason. So I stick to really chaotic sort of line art instead, because it felt more comfortable to look at. And perhaps it's just me being more fond of sketches. It's not like I don't like clean line art. I still find them super impressive, and I do like them. It's just, it's not for me, unfortunately. Again, line art is kind of one of those aspects, especially when determining art styles. And there are artists who doesn't do line art at all, so it's really up to you on how you would like to do things or do this sorts. Really do not like this clothing fonts. Way too repetitive. I feel yeah. I haven't done clean line art in 6 months. I stick to sketchy style. Sketchy style is just way too charming. You know what I mean? Like I just like how rough it looks. It kind of feels real, if that makes sense, or authentic. But I also do like clean line art. I guess what I find charming about sketchy line art is because it has some sort of motion to it. Much more lively to look at. And of course, it's very erratic. And I think that's the aspect I like the most. It's just pure chaos. There's no need to be perfect, basically, which I love. Uh, part, part of me wants to show the ankles, which is a shame. Am I completely being accurate with the character design? Of course not. Why would I do that? For the most part, I just improvise. Oh yeah, now that you saw the bleach cream other than the glitter. What did you think about the new color direction of Bleach? I actually watched the first episode of it. Then what we're talking about right now is like the new Bleach anime. I watched the first episode, and Jesus Christ, the pacing is so fucking fast for some reason. Everything is just escalating. Like, oh, here's a new character right here. Who is this character? Here are the fucking characters that we're gonna have this year. So I feel like if you have zero idea of what Bleach is, it's kind of hard to get into this anime because it's just going through it. It's just going and getting go. And I don't even know that much about Bleach. Fuck's sake, I don't even know the lore about it anymore. All I know is just Ichigo does this shit, goes Bankai or whatever, and that's fucking it. If we're talking, and in terms of art, the aesthetics of it, of the anime, I don't have that much to say. It's not so different from from what I remember from in comparison to the old Bleach anime. They went through 5 chapters in one episode. Exactly. Uh, everything was just in 100 miles per hour for some reason. And if I'm like a first time viewer or something, like first time getting into Bleach, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare. Do I recommend watching it? I don't know. I'm really not super into Bleach that much. And I just watched it because it came out. So I wanted to see if there's anything new. Actually, I like the art direction that went to, was it Burn the Witch or, there we go, Burn the Witch. I think it's from the same creator. Burn the Witch, I loved the art and animation on that anime. In Bleach, everything is just going 100 miles per hour for some reason. So I didn't like it all too much because there's nothing really to see in the first episode. But hey, it's the first episode. All I can do is have first impressions of it. And get introduced to the plot. It's basically an introduction. So nothing really have that much to say about it. But we're talking about the animation and artwork. I'm not impressed basically. It's not my cup of tea. God damn it, pronunciation. Murder Witch is the same creator and takes place in the same universe as Bleach. I actually like the animation. They're much more better. Well, in Bleach, everything feels. There's actually not that much to show, anyways. Also, like for fuck's sake, again, it's just the first episode. There's not gonna be uh full-on fight scenes from the get-go, and we're just still in the introduction phase of the whole thing. And everything kind of looks meh to me at this point. After witnessing Arcane, nothing looks good anymore. But probably that's just me putting the standards way too fucking high to something that is like has barely minimum budget to a show that has barely minimum budget. Also, I've seen Chainsaw Man first episode, and apparently some people, especially on TikTok, I think, are complaining about the art direction they went to. Which is again weird and too soon to judge. Like, for fuck's sake, it's the first episode. It's an introduction. Let's calm down for a bit here. Yeah, that is true. Hopefully the Yamamoto fight will be paced well enough. I had a feeling too. I had the same feeling too. Arcane made me not watch stuff for like 3 months because everything looks bad compared to Arcane. I know it's not a fair comparison. Like, for example, animated shows, or any sort of shows out there, animated shows out there, it's not fair to compare them all to Arcane, right? It's pretty obvious that Arcane is in a different sort of situation. It's a different studio. They have a different budget. They have a different outlook and principle, basically. And compare them to anime, especially, is kind of stupid. But at the same time, after witnessing it, after watching it, you just can't help but you get so impressed by the artwork, right? You get so impressed by the animation, you get so impressed by the aesthetics of it, that it kind of ramps up your standards quite a bit. Like, it kind of changed your taste quite a bit, to the point that nothing looks right anymore after trying to consume something else. Apart from that, it's that sort of feeling. It's not a conscious thing, probably. Because a part of you is like looking forward what the animation industry is going to bring out to you and impress you in the same way like Arcane did too. But at the same time, nothing is kind of coming up. So you just in this sort of loop of not enjoying them that much. Like I deadass wasn't able to watch any anime ever again after watching that show. or any sort of animated films either. But at the same time, I'm happy because finally someone's pushing the industry to like do a different art style or a new way of or form of rendering 3D artworks. Because Jesus fucking Christ, almost everything in the animation film industry looks kind of like the same. But that changed, or somewhat changing now, which is nice. I've seen people complain about the CGI Denji Chainsaw Man form. I think someone wanted your Chainsaw Man fan art to be the official look in the anime. A lot of people are debating whether or not if it's CG or, you know, a 3D figurine or whatever. I think someone said that, someone is claiming that it's not CGI, like Denji's form, especially in the first episode. It's not even CGI. I think some people are claiming that. I cannot confirm, I'm just saying what they're saying. But yeah, people are perceiving it as 3D animation. But at the same time, it's because it's so... like, the animator is trying so hard to make it look realistic. That's why it kind of looks like CG. And I think that's what happened. Of course, they probably got some sort of assistance by using a CG tool, which isn't a bad thing, for fuck's sake. People should stop crying about it. Like, CG is not a bad thing, just bad execution. And it was animated in a really realistic manner to the point that the spectacle is kind of gone. And to the average viewer, it doesn't look good. But if you're an animation nerd or whatever, it probably looks really, really fucking good to you. Like, the movements are... like, if you have some sort of experience in animation, you can tell the movements are somewhat realistic, leaning too much on realism. And the spectacle is kind of toned down. But people should really stop crying about CG, because come on. And again, it's just one fucking episode. Like, can we calm down for a bit here? And I think this is why One Punch Man, like the season 1, I'm gonna talk about the season 1. I'm not gonna talk about season 2 because I've not seen that. And they nerfed it way too much. They nerfed it. I just didn't like how season 2 looked. The animation in season 1 is very much stylized. Especially in regards to, like, depending on which or whom animator did it. Because animators also have their somewhat art style or style when it comes to animating. And yeah, the movements in One Punch Man is not realistic. And in fact, it's very much exaggerated. And what I meant by not realistic is they're doing a lot of what I'm doing right now. Like, big ass fucking arms. You know, a lot of extreme distortion of the body in favor of the motion. Because that's quite common in animation. You have to distort the body, at least somehow, in order to convey emotion. And I think in Chainsaw Man, they're trying to be accurate and again realistic. They're trying not to distort way too much. Of course, there's distortion there, like smear frames and parts that are smeared, but it's not exaggerated compared to One Punch Man or what is present on One Punch Man season 1. And I think people much prefer that sort of animation, like what's present on One Punch Man, instead of realistic ones, because for the common people, common viewers, they don't tend to give a shit on how realistic it is. Yes, if you're an animator, you would find that shit impressive. Like for me, how they animated Chainsaw Man, it was impressive, and takes fucking way too many frames. But to a common viewer who doesn't fucking give a shit about it, of course it's gonna look boring to them. Oh yeah, have you seen Claws? I actually haven't watched the movie, but I do see it a lot. Everywhere. Like, it was the talk back then. Oh yeah, that reminds me of a JJK scene where people complained about this one scene that they thought was CGI, but actually drawn and animated realistically. Yeah, it's because people are fucking dumb. Like, let's be honest here. It's people are fucking dumb and stupid. They thought that realistic or realism in anime would make things better, but in actuality, it's the number one thing they complain about. But if an animator was watching that scene, they would be heavily impressed by it because they can tell that it's animated real well. I'm not saying an average viewer cannot determine, but let's be honest, there's some difference there in terms of credibility. They're both animated by MAPPA. I mean, saying the studio, it's not gonna make sense because animators there are mixed. Is it the scene where that guy with stitches? I forgot his name. I don't really I don't really give a damn about the characters on JJK apart from Toji and Maki. But I think it was the scene where the guy was bleeding. I think. Because that part was so smooth, I can tell. And once people see something smooth, they assume that it's 3D or something. Which isn't the case. Eyes are bothering me, they're not the same. Oh, it's because his head. I think it's because his head. Yep, that Mahito bleeding scene. I actually like that scene. I don't know why people fucking complain. At this point, if someone is complaining about the animation and has zero experience on animation, I don't count that as criticism, nor count that opinion, or what do you call it. Basically, I do not give a shit about that opinion because it's so fucking obvious they cannot tell if it's a good animation or not. Again, not saying that everyone or a common viewer cannot determine what is good and what is bad. But at the same time, those who have experience on it tend to give a much more in-depth view. Like, they can point out what is actually right. No, not right or wrong, but good or bad instead. This is pretty much done. But I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to 3D animation, Japan is really weak on that department. I still find them weak at that department. Yes, there are animes that are like has really good makes use of good CG, or anime that is completely purely CG or 3D animated. But for the most part, it's still hit or miss. And I just find the motion, the way that they animated, I'm talking about the motion, purely motion. It's too smooth for some reason. Like, it's too, what do you call this? Robotic, I guess? Yeah, it it shows the weight to it, speed, weight, and whatever. But for the most part, it still feels kind of automated and robotic. But I think that has something to do with the frame rate or something. And I'm kind of like having a hard time pointing out what exactly I find what's wrong, or what I find wrong on 3D animated anime, or 3D anime basically. Because there are good ones like Beastars, Land of the Lusters, if I remember that title correctly. Land of the Lusters is actually has a very pretty style and actually works well. Really works well in 3D. Anyways, gonna take a quick bathroom break. BRB. I'm back. Where were we? Japan. Definitely Japan is behind on 3D animation, especially in that Ghibli movie with the witch. I forgot there's this movie, Lupin the Third movie. But I don't know if that was a Japanese studio or was made by a Japanese studio. I couldn't remember. Why is my search not working? No, I think it's a Japanese studio. Never mind. Because the 3D animation in this one was really good. Lupin the Third. But they pretty much have experience on CG anyway, so that's pretty understandable. And I'm not saying Japan's 3D animation is completely behind, like years and years behind. No, the gap isn't that far-fetched. In fact, the gap is it's close, but it's not quite there yet, basically. How do you say your name? IC Kim. That's it. Well, that is my username, though. Not my actual name. I mean, kinda, actually. It's somewhat derivative of my name. Anyways, let me save this, because I do not want to lose progress. I see like a, an ice cream. I see. I feel so stupid. I just realized that your username is literally just IC Kim. I mean, people tend to get confused by confused of my name, so it's not new for me. Especially with my last name. People are just like, is it really just Kim? Just Kim only? What? And they thought it was my first name, but in actuality, it's my last name. The IC part is my second name. ICIE. Even that has an origin. People are having a hard time pronouncing this, I think. That's why they get confused. And it's just not a common name. But my first name is so fucking common. Like, for fuck's sake. It's just Mary. But yeah, my name is just based out of my birthday. Because my birthday is a holiday or a feast day or something. And of course it has something to do with Catholic mythology, I guess. Or Christianity, I guess. Man, there's still so many difference when it comes to religion here. But yeah, I think it was an acronym. It's supposed to be IC. And then just my last name. Not confusing for me. I pronounce it as ICKM, like a Slurpee. Yeah, it's kind of like an ice cream. Or just basically ice. Or just, you know, I and C. IC. Let me make this line thicker. Probably add some shadows. So in that way, I don't have that much to do in coloring. Or that many to do in coloring. That wasn't even my first username on Instagram. My Instagram username went through a fucking lot. And then I just decided to just use my name or something. You know, doing the shadow part would have been much more easier if I just copy paste this and then just transform it. But a part of me kinda doesn't want that. Like, it could have been just doing this type of thing. But a part of me doesn't want that because it's too uniform. That makes sense. And shadows are really distorted. Oh, this is good enough. Did you watch Edge Runners as well? Nah, not yet. I got distracted. See, I ended up watching Chainsaw Man, Mob Psycho, and Bleach instead. I should also clean up another one, but I'm thinking of making another sketch instead. Kind of want to make... I should make a character sheet or something. 'Cause it's been a while. But let me think. If I can't think of a character design, I'll just do a fan art of something instead. Let me take a look at my list. See if I have any ideas in stock. Maybe Goblin Slayer? Either Goblin Slayer or Bond. Because I also have some reference of them here. I deadass did not watch what do you call it? Made in Abyss? I think that's the anime. I just deadass watched every scene Bondrewd is present. I never watched the whole anime. Can we all watch Edge Runners on Discord's stream tomorrow? I don't know if I can stream it on Twitch, but I can just do it on Discord. Is Edge Runners only available on Netflix? Because I don't have fucking Netflix. I'm canceling my subscription to that. Because I don't really watch a lot. This is why I don't subscribe to those sorts of, like, what do you call it? Streaming services. Because I never use them a lot. Because I'm more present in YouTube than anywhere else. And I don't watch every show that, or a lot of show to Netflix, because finding something good in Netflix, a good show in Netflix, is kind of like a gotcha game. And I also just don't consume that much shows. I find it way too ridiculous. Too much for my brain. Let me just find some references there to visualize and all that. Ever do a mob fan art? Yeah, but it's already so old. Haven't done one in a while recently. I'm just gonna do sketch though. I don't think I can do some coloring today. I think I'm too tired. I don't have enough energy to do coloring. Because doing coloring, it's kind of like I gotta pump myself up, like hype myself up in order to do it and continue it. Because, like for example, if I'm not streaming and I'm doing some coloring, I get easily distracted. So in a few minutes, I'm coloring some parts, and in a few minutes, I'm just like watching it, like some videos or something, or maybe playing a game. And it's such a back and forth sort of activity. Of course, in stream, I'm not that distracted, and if I'm just coloring, I'm just gonna color. But if I'm not streaming it, I'm so back and forth to it. Time to look for your mob fan art. I think I made a lot. Oh, hold up. Let me just check something out. I guess we'll take a short break for now. For some reason, when I looked it up, the first thing I found was a yaoi man. What? What happened, bro? Where have you gone to? I guess I'll sketch. I'm very indecisive. It's either Goblin Slayer or Bondrude. Come on. I just find their fucking designs so goddamn cool. I mean, I'll probably have a nightmare dealing with goblins, Goblin Slayer's armor here. But I can't think of a pose for Bondrude at the moment. And at this point, I'm just stuck in between which I should go first. This is gonna be easy to color, I think, hopefully. The thing about what's hard on drawing armor, if you don't have enough references, I guess. And if you're having a hard time imagining the armor in 3D, you're gonna have a nightmare drawing it. Yeah, Goblin Slayer's armor is so cool. I actually use his like armor as reference for my characters, especially the helmet, bro. His armor is not bulky, right? Like in comparison to other armors we've seen on anime, it's not bulky, and I think that's the thing. I mean, it's very accurate with his lore because he's going in caves and shit. But I don't have enough references. Actually, I think I have a sketch here, but I kind of didn't like that one, so let's just sketch the poses first. I'll just deal with the designs later and have a nightmare on cleaning it up. Oh, it doesn't have a... Maybe I'll just use a simple angle. I'm gonna use a simple angle for the pose because the armor and design is already too complicated. There's no point for me to do such a complicated pose unless I want to hide some parts or sections of the body. If I can think of a pose as. Currently dying from practicing on drawing on a single stroke and drawing my characters in chibi as a challenge. Bro, you shouldn't challenge yourself twice in one run. It's a bad idea. Or maybe that's just me. Because if I'm, for example, if I want to try something out, you know, learning something or improve on something, I want to deal with something I'm comfortable with, and then while applying what I want to improve on, like for example, I want to draw arms, I'm just gonna do something simple or in a simple pose. Like I'm not gonna do something crazy or whatever. It's kind of balancing it out, because if you add way too much challenges or trying to improve something, sections that you want to improve something, it's gonna overwhelm you. But maybe that's just me. It's kind of like taking one thing at a time. Taking everything in just one go is always a bad idea. Because there's so much parts that you find frustrating instead of parts that you're enjoying. So it's better to like try to balance it, at least, in my opinion. But of course, if you want to try hard and challenge yourself ultimately, then go ahead. No, you're right. It's never bad habit of mine. Tend to multitask unnecessarily. Especially if you're learning perspective. If you're learning perspective and using the human figure, please don't do that. You're gonna die. It's such a bad combination. Like, holy shit. If you haven't mastered the human figure and you want to use it to learn perspective, that is such a terrible idea. Nobody uses human figures to study perspective. Nobody. People either use buildings, simple shapes, and that's it. Basically, mostly background elements. Not humans. Not human figures. Nor any sort of organic figure, I guess. And all that. Like, I understand you want to draw the figures in perspective, but in actuality, it's a bad fucking idea. Especially if you're still just learning. Perspective. Background elements is much more better to use. This sword is a nightmare. I think I died 300 times years ago since I did that. Don't we all? I mean, yeah. That sort of thing is understandable. Or it's quite natural to happen for beginners. Because again, especially if you're self-taught, you don't really have a clear direction to go to, since, you know, there's no curriculum or anything. And you're just going with what you want to learn. And what we typically want to learn is never always in order, so it's pretty natural. I think I drew him way too thick. I have this problem, I guess, to me. Oh god, it's gonna rain. But, anyways, I have this sort of problem. I think I make or draw my characters way too thick to the point that they end up looking short. They end up looking short because they look so thick or wide, I guess, that they ended up looking short. Like this one, for example. That's, I guess that's a proportion thing, a proportion problem. Just gonna scribble it, fuck it. Torso is way too big, I think. Maybe that's why. Not really big, it's just wide. That's it. But it has to be wide. Oh, I think the rain stopped. Might get loud if it rains. Did you draw Pochita in that praise Pochita pic that you shared? Yes. I didn't have that much to do yesterday, so... Well, I didn't do that much yesterday because I should be taking a break. Like, I should let myself have day offs, you know what I mean? Because I always bombard myself that I should be working, I should be doing something or whatever, which is still unhealthy. But I made that doodle, so that's fine. It was worth. It was worth. Man, I wonder where you can buy a Pochita plushie. Man, I'm kind of wanting a lot on Christmas right now. Part of me wants to buy some video games on Steam. I should buy Hades or something like that. And a part of me wants to buy plushies and toys. And me being indecisive does not help. I don't even celebrate Christmas, for fuck's sake. Man, we don't celebrate Christmas, and instead we end up celebrating New Year's instead. Like, you know, we don't cook that much on Christmas Day. And the way we celebrate it is just the kids going through the neighborhood to knock on the door and go bless you and something like that, and then get money. I don't even know how to explain it to words, but but that's just how Christmas goes here. It's just a bunch of kids going through the neighborhood, knocking on every door, and then demanding money. They're not going to stranger's house. They usually just visit godfathers, godmothers, something like that. And then they get money from it or get gifts or whatever. God, I'm literally dying just by drawing a standing pose. And we only get festive, like, you know, cooking a lot of meals, food, and all those stuff. Kind of like Thanksgiving, but it's New Year's Eve. That's where it happens. We don't really celebrate like how other people or how I think people celebrate Christmas. Like, you know, setting up a Christmas tree, lights, and all that, decorations, yada yada yada. I saw someone on Amazon, eBay, and I just looked it up and saw that Walmart is now selling Pochita plushies after Chainsaw Man. That is so lit. Me and my family don't celebrate Christmas that much. The most we do on that day is to give other family members money. Yeah, exactly. It's just a bunch of kids getting the money, getting the fucking money, bro. And the adults losing their fucking money because the kids are taking it. And I just treat Christmas Day like any other day, bro. I mean, as a kid, I couldn't understand why weren't we doing like what I see on the movies, right? Because on the movies, when I watch a movie, they're like giving gifts, Santa, whatever, Christmas tree setup, and all that shebang. And as a kid, it's kind of hard for me to digest why, because when I see something on the movie, I'm just like, yo, holy shit, we should do that. We should also be doing that. Because I thought that sort of thing was like the norm. Now that I grow up, I'm just like, it's like any other fucking day, bro. I think my mom just does cook some barbecue or something, and that's it. We call it a day. And I don't even go outside that much. Nor do I enjoy dealing with kids. I don't even fucking want to interact with them. My parents just straight up said that Santa isn't real when I was like 2 or 4. I don't even think my parents know the concept of Santa. But as a kid, I was like, so fucking into that sort of shit. Like, holy fuck, this guy is giving gifts. Come on, give me a PlayStation, please. And I keep insisting to my mom to like hang some fucking socks. And me wondering why we don't have a fucking chimney. Having a chimney on Southeast Asia is a huge fucking joke, by the way. Like, who would build a fucking chimney here? We never have winters. So that shit is fucking straight up useless. And just people who has it, people who has chimneys are just only in it for the vibes. Or you just want to grill something inside the house for some reason. Oh, maybe this is why. It's why the. It's be why the proportions. Looks one for me. Like, we experience heat waves here and drought. There's no point. But me, as a kid, I was like complaining why the fuck we don't have a chimney. I don't want to flesh this out way too much because it's just a fucking sketch. All I need is the rough draft for it. I should put this in a different layer. That shield is so small, bro. Like, look at that shit. It's about this size if I have to be. Now for the other shots. Speed is way too big. This is why I should be drawing stuff zoomed out, especially when it comes to proportions. Or else everything would look like. Everything would look off. Yeah, I always wondered as a kid why my dad doesn't build a chimney for Santa. I think that's what made my parents tell me that Santa isn't real. Yeah, because I was wondering where the fuck do I hang my socks if we don't have a chimney? In fact, the only reason why I believe on Santa is because I just wanted a fucking Game Boy at that time, or place or PSP or something. And I'm that type of a kid that goes to church just to beg for God to give me a PlayStation or something. I just saw a clip of the Addams Family, and holy crap, you're right. The background and side characters are hideous. Oh, is it the animated one? I mean, yeah, that shit is. It's just an animation nightmare. And you can tell the animators or anyone who's uh doing that, who's done that movie or involved with that movie, are only doing it for their portfolio or something. They're only in it for money. Bro. And I think that uh that movie, if I remember correctly, I think they were hosting or sponsored a gambling sort of thingy, or made a gambling sort of game. Couldn't remember. And basically, it was just a disaster overall. It looks so skinny right now. And yeah, the proportions are kind of fucking me up right now. But that's for later. That's for the time for me to do line art and have nightmares from it. y'all can tell, I don't draw this pose most of the time. Just looks wrong to me for some reason. I prayed for Nintendo DS to play Pokemon. When like 4 months later, when my uncle came from China to visit, he gave me and my brother Nintendo DS with a game chip. With like 100 games. I don't know he got that. I think it, man, I forgot what that term was. It's basically some sort of game cartridge that has like, you know, downloaded games for the Nintendo DS. It's kind of like homebrew. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's kind of like homebrew, but since it's the DS, it's kind of, it only needs like a cartridge with like with a memory card in it. The only reason why I wanted a PSP so bad, I think I have this one classmate of mine. He brought a PSP on Christmas party, and I was like, holy fucking shit, this is way cooler than a Game Boy. I didn't know Nintendo DS or 3DS existed at that time, by the way. And I still find man, I was a PlayStation girl, so Nintendo wasn't really that big at our place. It wasn't the hottest shit ever. The choices we have, it's either an Xbox or PlayStation. Nintendo consoles doesn't really exist that much back then. Or wasn't that huge. And we've only known Nintendo for the Game Boy, and that's it. Never really for their home consoles until recently, of course. Oh, that might give me a clue on what that is. I lost that game chip and I want to see if I can get a new one. I forgot what it's called also. I think it's something R4. Yeah, an R4 cartridge. So basically how it works, you download some DS games on a normal SD card, a normal ordinary SD card. And then you put that SD card on the cartridge. And that's basically it. There's some extra steps there, of course. And it has been a while since uh I've known about those sorts of things. In fact, that sort of like uh obtaining games in that way is quite common here. I think it's also considered piracy. But at the same time, with how ridiculous game cartridges and how rare they are to buy here. Like for fuck's sake, 3DS cartridges, game cartridges are so ridiculously priced. It's insane. And again, I'm not so used to Nintendo back then. Because a PlayStation 2 game is like only a couple bucks. It's like $1 or something. $1 or $2. And that's dirt cheap. But seeing how expensive game cartridges on the 3DS was, it was such a damn. It's kind of like a culture shock for me. Like, what the hell? Like, I've always seen the internet going crazy about Nintendo's prices and all. But I didn't think that it was this ridiculous. Like, for fuck's sake, it's an old game. But no, it's still expensive as shit. And it's only going more expensive for some reason. Next pose. I think I went too far with this. There we go. Did you ever drink entire ramen soup? Apparently it's very bad for you, and I just drank an entire bowl today. I feel like I lost 10 years out of my lifespan. I don't eat that much ramen. Ramen. How do you pronounce it again? I keep butchering it because of my accent. Like, I get confused of like, should I pronounce it this way or should I pronounce it like, you know, the right way? But now I don't eat that much ramen. I only eat the noodles. Yeah, I'll take a sip of the soup, but for the most part, I don't. I'm talking about Korean ramen, by the way, because I think Japanese and Korean ramen are kind of different. But yeah, every time I think I remember that time I did try to chug it, like, you know, drink the soup of the ramen, and I did feel like I was like kind of dying. And I'm like, okay, we're not doing that again. And I just eat the noodles instead. I think, isn't cup noodles much more worse? I think I eat cup noodles more often than uh than ramen. I actually know the pronounce. Isn't the pronunciation of ramen in Korean somewhere something like ramyeon? I probably butchered that too, but eh, something like that. But in general, it's just ramen. I think cup noodles is much more worse though. Definitely much more worse. Also, my mom just doesn't buy ramen all too much because they're kind of hard to buy. not, not exactly hard to buy. It's just uh I guess we're picky. We're picky at the what brand it is. Because they're different brands. And prices tends to differ a lot, and my mom always buys the cheapest one, of course. Or finds the most cheapest one. So we don't really buy it all the time. So we ended up buying cup noodles much more often compared to ramen. Ramyun. Ramyun. Or ramen. And we also have our local noodles, which is kind of like pasta, but it's not pasta. Pasta is not that unhealthy compared to this. Yeah, cup noodles is also bad. So much MSG. Her mom sounds like she would shop at a dollar store. Actually, she won't. It's that sort of weird. They don't want bad or cheap quality shit, but at the same time, they're not willing to buy expensive shit. Like it's kind of like that typical Asian thing, right? They want you to be a doctor, but they're the last type of people to see a doctor. Like they will not go to the hospital until they are completely dying. It's that sort of thing. In position the head because it's way too winning right there. I actually drew this hand wrong. Should be more in front. At the same time, this looks right. Also. Oh, you mean the Asian pride? It's just they want to save up so much money, but at the same time, when they buy cheap products, I'm like, what were you expecting? Like I get it. I don't want to spend so much money on something or something like you can tell it has a ridiculous price and the worth is quite questionable. Like I get it. But at the same time, just if you buy something or wanting something really cheap, like what are you expecting here? Like lower your expectations a lot. Okay, I'm not expecting I will take a while. Sketch. But my parents actually didn't want me to become a doctor. Funny enough. I mean, yeah, they still want me to go to college or get a degree in college, but never a doctor. So that's why I couldn't relate to like that sort of thing. But what is popular, or I guess what career is more preferred here, is for you to go to nursing or something like that. It still has something to do with the medical field, of course. Kind of redoing this whole pose makes it look so stiff. Yeah, deleted that. I just need the hand. My mom tried to get me to become a surgeon or a nurse even though I struggled with biology and anatomy class in middle and high school. So I didn't even bother to listen to my mom, whatever she tells me to think about it. My parents didn't really force me to take a certain course, but they do kind of want me to go to engineering, which I still find stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, engineering is one of those courses, you know, that people encourage you to go into because of the money, obviously. But at the same time, bro, it's kind of like a saturated course, because people saying it's high demand, it's a high demanding job, or they demand a lot of people in that job, so better get it quick kind of thing. But at the same time, everyone is taking that course, so there's gonna be a lot of people trying to get in that job, so that job ends up being more competitive than it's supposed to, because it's getting saturated. And also, I just have zero interest on it. I did well in math, which is a staple requirement on engineering, but I didn't like the course because I just didn't care about it, obviously. I was more interested in business courses or anything apart from engineering, because I know it's also a kind of like an expensive course to take. Just the materials you need, because the school doesn't really provides you with all the stuff that you need, and you end up needing to buy a lot of stuff. It's kind of like med school. Such an expensive course. Not to mention demanding to get into. Still don't know what to do with this arm. Let me try something out. And I think they wanted me to get architecture instead if I can't decide and all that stuff. But architecture is just fucking hell. For some reason, people don't respect architects here for some goddamn reason. And maybe it's because my uncle is an architect too, so. I couldn't choose art school because I just couldn't see myself going to art school. And I just cannot see a need for it. And I didn't even wanted art to be my own career, or to be my main career. Maybe as a side job or a side hobby, yes. But as a main thing, never. And even if it's gonna end up as my main job, I couldn't see myself going to a university for it. It just feels like a waste of time. Like, for fuck's sake, I know enough, basically. I probably would only go to art school if I want to learn 3D animation, and that's it. But if if you want to go to art school to learn drawing, I have some bad news for you. I mean, they kind of teach you the general principles of it, and that could potentially improve your skills. But for the most part, some art schools kind of demands you to already know how to draw already. And for the most part, the internet is pretty much right there. I mean, yeah, it's not as effective as school. The internet is not as effective as school because in school, it kind of gives you liability or accountability because you're obviously required to do certain tasks. And it kind of forces you to learn. Compared to being self-taught. Because if you're self-taught, you're basically your own teacher also. I should have warmed up. Because right now I'm like kind of struggling. Or taking a while. Do certain poses. But the rest of the poses was gonna be easy anyway, so that's fine. I love my mom and all, but she should see that I might get someone killed if I become a doctor. Oh yeah, it's just a fucking scary job overall. Somewhat risky too. And perhaps that's why it's a very expensive course to get into. And surgeons, yeah, surgery is like one of the most expensive courses here. Right next to aerospace or aeronautics. And me, I just want to get a degree and get a fucking job, and that's it. And probably why I couldn't answer like this question of what do you call it? What's your dream job, basically? And I'm like, the fuck would I know? Like for real, how the fuck's in the what does one get into something? Hold up. I'm lacking space here for the different shots. And also, I just do not want to go in depth for going to college. Like, culture wise, the reason why people are going to college, right, is to get a job. To get a job and earn some living, earn for a living. And poverty is like is quite rampant here. So not everyone gets to college easily. That's why a lot of people doesn't really choose their preferred course either. Because of how expensive it is. I mean, in comparison to America, I think America's university expenses is much more ridiculous. It's much more ridiculous compared to here. But I just cannot justify the prices of going to school to get a degree to earn for a living or to get a job. It's just too expensive and too overwhelming. Too overbearing too. I think this should be the best. I mean, yeah, public colleges, public school, public universities exist here. But my god, the quality is so shit. They treat you like nothing. I mean, that depends on what professor you get. And it's pretty understandable that every university, every school has that one asshole that thinks that not passing their class is a good thing. Hold up. Oh, my thing is lagging. Sayonara, welcome. Very nice, a fellow armor enjoyer. Hell yeah. Armor is so hard to draw, but when you get the hang of it, it's so worth it. Because once you put armor on something, it's already peak character design, bro. It already automatically looks awesome. I mean, I shouldn't draw the designs just yet, because I'll be doing that on cleanup instead. But let me just at least put some roughs in there, so I don't have like... I don't have some sort of whiplash. I love drawing armor, although I'm not the best in painting with colors. I mean, don't we all? I mean, even myself, I don't consider myself like very good with colors. I do find I am comfortable enough with colors. Like, I know how to make sure that the colors that I use are, you know, harmonious, works well together and all that. But in terms of how creative I am with colors, yeah, I'm not very good with it. I'm still playing it safe, basically. Still playing it safe with colors. Like, I only use very safe colors, not exactly bold looking colors, you know what I mean? Also, coloring is just pain, man. It just has way too many steps. This is why I don't color in traditional medium. Because I have to pick up a different color pencil with different color. Back and forth and back and forth, and I just hate it. It took me a while to get used to in digital, because I hate doing one stroke and then going to the tools to switch and all that stuff. Especially back then. Back then, I was just speed running my shit all the time. Never mind. This one is better. Or good enough. If I send a commission for one of my characters, do you want to design a helmet for one of the drawing on the character sheet? I'm not sure. I need at least some sort of reference. Not exactly what I'm gonna copy, but instead some sort of inspiration board or something, at least. So in that way, I have some sort of direction on where to go to. You mind if I share some armor sketches? Are you in Discord? You can share it on though, over there. I do have a helmet design for them, but I feel like they're too simple. As long as I have some sort of... what do you call that? Some mood board or something? Reference board? You know, a bunch of compilation of photos. to take inspiration from. Because I'm still weak. I'm still very, very weak in terms of design. People would probably disagree, yada yada yada. But to me, I know I'm still not very good at that department. But again, it's probably on me because I don't use actual references to, garner information, do more research in terms of designing. Because it is actually important to do at least some research here and there. And to experiment. But to me, I just wing it. So that's why I'm very weak at that department. Honestly, Sam, I can't really pick colors for myself. It do be like that. I just pick really safe colors. Like skin tone, somewhere around this range. And if I'm drawing or coloring some clothes, I either just go with blue, red, or some black, and maybe brown. Basically, simple somewhat monochromatic colors. I wouldn't do really bold colors, like for example, one saturated color and another saturated color. I don't really typically do that. I still find it hard to combine some colors. But it do just be like that. Color theory is just tricky, man. Didn't find a link on Discord. Oh, you can find it on my Patreon. Or somewhere I left. Or wherever I put the link somewhere. Hold up. I'm probably gonna take a break after this. Actually, this is pretty much finished. I'm not gonna refine it just yet. Just as rough sketch for now. Let's save that. Hopefully I'm recording the time-lapse for this. If not, I'm gonna cry. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna cry about it. I'll just be pissed off about it. That's recording. God. How long have we been streaming? Almost 3 hours. Not sure if I can do another line art. I think that would be me pushing it. What else do I need to clean up? Nah, I think that's the only one I need to clean up for now. The rest are, the rest of my sketches that I have on my folder, kinda don't want to do them just yet. Too lazy. I'll just cram. But anyways, these are the two that we were able to do. A line art and a rough sketch. I don't know if I can clean this up. Yeah, I won't be able to clean this up. Cause there's way too many figures right now. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 figures. Let's just chat and chill for now. Because that's basically all I need to do. I'm not gonna do another cleanup for another sketch because I feel like that's pushing it. I should get some snacks too. I guess we'll just chat for the rest of the minutes. Rest of the minutes we have. So if you guys have any questions, anything to show me or whatever, anything to chat about, feel free. I should get some snacks though. Hold up, let me fetch some snacks for a bit. I'll be quick. BRB. Hello, I'm back. I got me some chips. Did you see any more internet store embeds? I wasn't able to. Because I watched some anime instead. Okay. Looking at some photos right now. Sheesh. Damn, you really do like armor. Let's fucking go. Yeah, armor just looks automatically cool. Even if it looks futuristic or what do you call this? Futuristic or more classic looking. Hold up, let me open this shit. Maybe you can react to his Fire Festival. Man, Fire Festival has been like... It's been forever. Oh! I got... Man, not only did I get distracted by watching anime once again. God, it's been forever since I've watched an anime. Jesus. Like, it's been months. It has been years. And then I also just got back to like watching some Niji Sanji videos, you know, VTubers and all. Like, damn. Let me just find where it is. I don't remember the last time I saw Hololive. Maybe like 2 months ago. Yeah, it's been forever since I've watched VTubers too. I basically became a fucking normie for a while. But at the same time, I can't call myself a normie because I'm kind of like a shut-in. I'm still kind of like a shut-in. I barely go outside, but at the same time, there's no point for me to go outside. And also because our town is like a nightmare. Oh yeah, I'm also curious. I feel like I don't draw for a long sitting. If that makes sense. Like I can only draw for like 4 or 5 hours max in a day. But to me, 2 hours of drawing is already too much for me. If that makes sense. People would think I draw a lot. Yeah, I also kind of draw a lot. But to me, I draw too much, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really like drawing all the time, if that makes sense. In fact, I still wish I can draw only for, like, a short period of time. But then a part of me is also like, I should take time on drawing. It's just that sort of conflict. And I mean, yeah, it's that sort of like, sometimes I like to draw. You know, I enjoy it, genuinely. And then sometimes it's just a pain in the ass. Where I'm just like, God, I do not want to do this. I would rather skip a day of doing this. And I think I should point that out. Like, it's not always being passionate about something. It's not always something that you're gonna love all the time. Being passionate about something, passion would either be hatred or loving it. Because the opposite of passion is like being indifferent, right? Like you just do not give a shit about it. That's the opposite of passion. And being passionate about something is just something like that. It's not gonna be all sunshines and rainbows. There are times that you would fucking that everything that you make would suck so much to the point that you just do not want to do it anymore. Like you just get sick and fucking tired of it. Like, and you would do anything to avoid it. It just do be like that though. It probably happens more different to others, but to me, it happens quick. Like one day I enjoy it, and instantly in the next day, I just hate it. It's so spontaneous, basically. And it happens so quickly for me. But that's probably because of my mood swings. Maybe that's a factor. Oh, hold up. Someone's calling me. Bruh! I'm back. My mom brought me snacks. And I'm already eating. Fuck. She gave me a bunch of burgers and a fry. And some Coke. Goddamn, this is gonna turn into like a mukbang stream right now. Instead of a chill chatting stream. I mean, we can still chat, but I'm gonna sound like my mouth is always full or something. Dude, what the fuck? I feel that so hard. It just do be, be like that sometimes. This is why I'm kind of worried. It's one of the things I get worried about. Like, I don't want to draw all the time because I know for a fact that I'll get sick of it. I draw myself sick. Because if I do it too much, I'll just get sick and tired of it and make sure that I ignore and not do it for a while. Kind of like what happened back in high school. You call burgers and fries snacks? Yeah, it's basically a meal. But here's the thing. This is a thing in Southeast Asia. Or in Asia in general. If there's no rice involved, it's not a meal. It's a fucking snack. No rice, it's not a meal. But if it has a rice on the side, then yeah, it's considered a meal. So if you like eat a whole fucking cow, they're not gonna call it a meal. Because if it has no rice, it's not a meal. It's just a fucking snack. For anyone wondering, it's just Jollibee. We don't have McDonald's, so... And we only have Jollibee, so... nearby. Our town is still pretty much like a desert. Like a desert island. There are no malls, there's no... I mean, there's a 7-Eleven, but... It's pretty fucking useless. And I do not dare to eat anything. I'm not gonna eat a fucking hot dog out of 7-Eleven. Our 7-Eleven looks too sussy. I might end the stream in a few minutes because I need to eat the burger and I don't think I can eat it while stream. It's a huge fucking burger. It's a chicken burger. I never tried Jollibee burgers, only their small bowl of spaghetti. I mean, I don't enjoy it either. Here's the thing, burgers are not my favorite food. It only depends. Like, it's not my always go-to to eat. But they're pretty much average. I mean, Jollibee is just basically our local equivalent to McDonald's. In fact, their menu is pretty much the same. There's a slight difference, but overall the same. And I don't even like fast food that much. I only eat the fries and that's it. And maybe a burger. If I can think of any other meal or food to eat. I'm just gonna turn into a mukbang. What do you remember from reading Chainsaw Man? The only thing I can remember is the part where Pochita made Kobeni dance. I haven't read the recent chapters. That's why when people made the fan art of the new character in Chainsaw Man, I just have zero idea on who she is. I swear I feel like I lose like 1 month of my lifespan whenever I eat fast food. That's true though. Except for pizza. I find eating pizza always justifiable. But I still eat them whenever I get the chance. It's just they're so convenient. Oh yeah, I think also another reason why I don't eat burgers that all the time. I find them hard to eat, which sounds weird. Like I just struggle eating them. Music's getting loud, holy shit. I wonder if my mic is picking it up. Oh, it's not. And man, eating on fast food, eating burgers, is 10 times much more harder now. Because of I have braces. And man, I just cannot wait for them to be removed. I thought I can get them removed around November, but the dentist said it has to be around December, which sucks. Well, at least I'll be able to eat a lot, finally, around New Year's. You don't remember Katana Man because is it on Darkness Devil and Silver? I am not. I'm actually not that familiar of the other devils. I think I remember the shark one, and of course Gun Devil, but the rest I don't remember. I also do know Darkness. Which I'm almost done eating. I guess I'm gonna call it quits there now, guys. Because I'm just gonna eat some burger right now. I'm not gonna draw anymore. I'm already tired. I mean, yeah. Basically, by the time the clock hits somewhere around like, for example, right now it's like 4:22 or 4:30 p.m. or maybe around 5 p.m. I tend to not draw anymore further from that time, especially when I'm not streaming. Katana Man's design is simple but great. He greatly contrasts with Denji's design from the teeth and clothes. But yeah, Denji's design is just, especially Pochita, in his full form. It's just wow, man. And Gun Devil's design is just way too much. Like, holy shit. Like, you would. Yeah, that basically sums up his design, his character design. It's just holy shit, bro. I mean, yeah, it's just a bunch of guns, but holy shit. Oh god, it's also raining. Yeah, I'm just gonna go quits here. I have to say goodbye now, guys. Unfortunately, it's raining. I need to eat. There's a lot of shit to do. Oh, I couldn't get to react to the Internet Historian too. That sucks. The Gun Devil is indeed. Oh, holy shit. But unfortunately, I have to pause it right now there, guys, unfortunately, and say goodbye. Hopefully we can chat more next stream. I'll probably stream again, not tomorrow, probably the following day. But for now, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Here are the artworks that we're able to do today. So, just a line art and a one rough sketch. Hopefully I can clean that up next stream. But thank you guys so much, and hope you guys enjoy the stream, and hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye. Hope you have a great day, a great night, and all that good stuff.